Well, here we are on YouTube. Ryan, it's a pleasure to be here.
Nathan, it really is a pleasure.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So, well, speaking of been a while, this is a request from Andrew. Andrew is one of our longtime faithful supporters of our channel, and poor Andrew gave us this request like 2 months ago, and it just fell through the cracks. And he sent us kind of a, "Hey, is it still there somewhere?" And so we appreciate you, Andrew, being very patient with us regarding us. Just it fell through the cracks. I think he gave it to us like right at the end of the month, kind of when we transition all our files and requests for the following month. It just came through. So I mean, it just fell through. So thank you, Andrew, for being patient. Yes, and thank you for getting back to us, because we'd hate to take your money and not do what you've asked us to do. So he's paid for this request, of course, and we're going to do for it right now. He's a big Phish fan, and he seems to enjoy our reactions to Phish. Again, if you're new to our channel and you're a Phish fan, check out all our Phish reactions. Nathan and I, just a few months ago, went to a Phish concert for the first time. It was a
check out our concert review. Yeah, check out our concert review to that concert,
because it was a two-nighter, awesome. Right?
Yeah,
it was 2 nights. And we did a whole like after reaction. Like we did a nice little documentary style. Nathan did all the great work on that. Check out our reaction to the concert itself. But this is what Andrew had to say regarding this request, Nathan. This is really important background. So I am going to read the whole thing, because I think this is essential for us to understand and enjoy even more so this performance, what this performance means to the crowd. He goes, "Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to check in with a request and ensure you're still enjoying some Phish in your life." Well, we are, and thank you, Andrew. He goes, "Now let me share a bit of background about Fluffhead, a true gem in Phish's repertoire and one of Trey's early masterpieces. Clocking in at around 15 minutes, this song weaves together about 20 different tunes into one playful and overly complicated composition. Fans have always adored it for its charm, culminating in an epic peak and a classic Trey solo. But Fluffhead's history is also quite intriguing. It held a special place as a show staple for Phish during their first 15 years. However, in the year 2000, they abruptly stopped performing it altogether. Despite passionate pleas from fans during shows, the band refused to play it."
Whoa.
That period was a dark time for the band. Trey struggled with addiction. Internal conflicts arose, and ultimately they even broke up after the Coventry Festival. You might remember Page's emotional moment. Following their split in 2004, remember that video we saw?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Following their split in 2004, Trey faced legal trouble and went through court-ordered rehab to overcome his addictions. Eventually, he reconciled with the rest of the band. Then, to everyone's surprise and delight, Phish announced a comeback in the early 2009. The fan base was ecstatic, yet understandably nervous due to the previous tumultuous ending. On March 6, 2009, they made their triumphant return with Fluffhead as the opening song, sending the crowd into a frenzy of excitement. Phish was back, and so was Fluffhead. Their reunion marked the beginning of a new era, and for the past 15 years, they've been soaring high. While the video quality may not be the best, the energy captured in this fan video is simply off the charts. Enjoy this momentous performance, Andrew.
Okay, so I want to start with we got to see Fluffhead at the concert. I remember going like, "Wow, this is a very complex song." Like there's very few songs that are like it from Phish that are like scripted. You know what I mean? This particular one it felt like the most scripted Phish song we'd ever heard.
So was that night? I'm just looking right here. Was that night 1 or 2?
Oh man,
because we saw them in April 2003, correct? Boy, it feels like 10 years ago now already.
I think that was night 1, and I think it was near to the end.
So I'm looking at their set list here.
Does it show up?
Yeah, so I got April 15th. This is the one that had, sorry. Was it 15th and the 16th or the 14th and 15th? I can't remember now.
Well, there's only 2 nights in Seattle, so whichever nights they were.
Yeah, sorry. Chunk's trying to figure it out. Oh, here's the April 14th set list. Okay. Sorry. So April 4th, it was the first night. This was their encore final song. Okay.
That's what I was.
That's what didn't we say at the time? It was like a complicated, crazy. What is this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we did see it live. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that? So we've seen this live. That was the first time we heard the song, was at that live performance when we were there in the crowd. But now we're going to see the history behind this performance. And of course, it'll be different than what we saw because every Phish song is different anyway. So okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right, let's do this.
You're the director. They're just coming on the stage for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember it starts out very straightforward.
Yeah.
Fluff came to my door, asking me for change. His eyes were clear and pure, but his
Before Mike started cutting his hair. where it starts going off the rails. So funny. It's like everyone's playing something different. How did they know that's where they were going to change?
I had no idea.
I can't keep track of the time signatures. Classic Phish right there.
Yeah, hop it up and down. I love it. I think they did that at our show too. That same might have been the same song.
Check this out.
Tipsy, full of boozy, groggy, elevated, prompting, headed up. Hellborn, El Child Road, on mountain, fortune on a band, we headed up. Fast, smoking, spin, fast, love, rock, roll. Tipsy, full of boozy, groggy, elevated, prompting, headed up. Mouth whose life is gonna end. At all the expanse, fast, long, flat, low. Rabbit, victim, martyr, stranded, level-headed boy, you better be.
Love pages of playing there too.
Yay. Okay. So this reminds me of two things I remember from the concert. First thing I remember in that song, I felt it more than any other song because we started the concert kind of at the back where we couldn't really see them very well. We could see kind of the light show, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we ended up moving on day one up high and kind of behind the band a little bit.
Yeah.
But we had
That's
a
my
good
idea.
view. Remember, we had a really good view of
Yeah.
like, the whole band. Especially we had a good band of John, or good band. My face make words come out strange. Anyway, we had a great view of John. And I remember thinking on that song, so much of that song depended on John. Because like the time changes are so hard to keep track of in my head. Even watching it the second time, I started and I was like, all right, there it is. Oh, and then I was lost. Like once it started to really get into the complex parts, I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So much of that depends on John. And then the second thing I was thinking of is oh shoot, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. You tell your stuff and I'll remember it.
Oh, well, you might not, but I get what you're saying. I remember how I felt when we heard this song for the first time at the concert
I
for the
remembered it.
encore. I think it was even more, dare I say, at the time for that show, complex. I felt there
Yeah.
was. Did you remember that too? It
Yeah.
was really like proggy. It
Yeah.
was like, what is this insanity? Was there like, I felt. Sorry, I remember feeling that way at that time. Like this is like a prog fest, and then they did do that big outro, and we left. I think our consensus was that encore for night one really was the best of the two nights, and
Yeah.
that was in no small part. And little did we know the legacy that Fluffhead was. So thank you, Andrew, for explaining what Fluffhead meant to people. So for this show, though, it's really cool. Again, thank you, Andrew, for telling us why this performance was so important to the crowd, the Phish fans in 2009, to see them back on stage for the first time after all this stuff. This was their first show, I think. This was their first after that tumultuous time with Trey, and for them to say to the crowd, okay, you guys have been asking for Fluffhead. We weren't playing it during our dark times and what have you. Here we are now, and we're opening with the song. Let's just get this not out of the way, but we're back, and we're here. We hear you. We recognize this. And then, did Trey have any idea that he was going to play the way that solo at the end was amazing? You could just cut that solo the last 2.5 minutes and just. Does he know he's going to play it that way?
Oh, well, absolutely. I think the key with Phish is understanding the concept of tension and release, right? Where you've got like a bunch of music that gets kind of complex or harder or more dissonant, more like it's got like not pleasing sounds to your ear, and then it gets to the final and the solo, and that solo is classic, like kind of smooth things out. It's so like discombobulated, throughout most the middle of the song. It starts out in that like fluff head and gets, everyone's kind of likes it, but then it has this weird shape in the middle. And so having that solo at the end, I think Trey absolutely knows it's going that way. It's going to be kind of back to normal. And I really like, I definitely felt that throughout when we were at the concert. But the one thing that this did for me, this is the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
it like transports me back to the concert.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
I remember like just feeling the groove and watching other people dancing and just feeling like this is fun. Like this is so much fun. And yeah, really missing. I miss that.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoyed that concert a lot just for the getting to hang out with you and then being able to just dance around and kind of lose yourself in the crowd. It was fun. Yeah.
It was a great time, and I hope that we'll see them again one day.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be great. So thank you so much, Andrew. What a great experience. Love knowing that history. And yeah, the Phish story continues. We shall see what the next request will bring via our patrons. And we appreciate all the support on the channel. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, all two of you. And it's,
We might get 100 views on our channel. So let's be nice to ourselves here.
okay. Thank you, all 100 of you, the tens and tens of you that will watch this. And we'll see you in the next one.